I'm really sorry I can't be there with you at Caffeinated Thoughts today. I mean, it is the opening weekend of the pheasant season, so I have to do my demonstration for the Second Amendment itself and the pure enjoyment of seeing those feathers poof out into the air on a beautiful fall day. But I know that you're there saving America, and so I want to encourage you on this. We've watched now as we've seen the President of the United States doesn't believe he's bound by the Constitution. In a number of ways, he's decided he can write law, he can ignore law, he can do whatever he wants to do, and he has. And this Congress hasn't shown the collective will to shut him down. But there's good news around the corner. We will be rid of this president in about 15 months or so, and I am so looking forward to that date. We all have to work together to elect the right president so that our values show up in the Oval Office, and that can start to shift the culture of America back to the Constitution. While that's going on, the next president of the United States is likely to make one or two, perhaps more than that, but one or two appointments to the United States Supreme Court. Look what this Supreme Court has done. They've followed along a similar path with Barack Obama, even with John Roberts as the Chief Justice. For example, June 25th, Thursday of this year, the Supreme Court concluded that they could rewrite law, and even though Obamacare didn't have the language in it that authorized the federal government for setting up the exchanges on Obamacare, they decided on a 5-4 decision that they would write these words where it says an exchange established by the state. They added the words or federal government so that the federal government could establish Obamacare exchanges in the states that said we don't want anything to do with Obamacare. That's one thing. That's Thursday, June 25th. And before we could get ourselves up off of the mat that we were knocked down on constitutionally by that Supreme Court, who is the last people in the world that should be amending our Constitution, the next day they announced that they had created a new right, and for the first time in the history of this country created a command in the Constitution, supposedly, and I put that in quotes, that any state that has civil marriage shall conduct same-sex marriages on the same standard as if they were actually a man and a woman joined together in a hopefully holy matrimony. And you'll also shall recognize the same-sex marriages from other states. So the Supreme Court on Thursday said, we write law, and the Supreme Court on Friday said, not only that, we create rights, and we've created for the first time a command in the Constitution. We cannot tolerate this destruction of our Constitution by our Supreme Court, and we must elect a president who will make the right appointments to not only the Supreme Court, but to all of our federal courts. And the most important thing we can do, especially the young people, have a lot of babies and raise them right. Teach them about God and country and the history of our country and about our Constitution, about the rule of law, about the pillars of American exceptionalism. You do all of that, we transform our culture that will support the values that we're fighting for today. Thank you very much for fighting for our values. Thanks a lot at Caffeinated Thoughts. God bless you all.